We're live.
We're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Unveiling the Truth with Brad and Robin. And we have a special guest, Morrighan Lynne. And I want to just do Morrighan. I'm going to kind of surprise you. I have a little intro I want to do.
Oh,
And
fancy.
yeah. And so Morrighan, I knew from Boise, Idaho. I've gone to one of her classes before, and I was so impressed with her that we are still in touch to this day because that class was several years ago. We won't say, but like maybe several years ago. And Morrighan Lynne is a trauma informed coach, intuitive guide, author, speaker, and spiritual mentor with nearly 2 decades of experience helping people navigate life's challenges with clarity and confidence. I'm so thankful the world has you in it to help take the hands of those that need it. I have said many times we come into this world hard and have to pull out of the situations we were born into. But some of us need help, guidance, and an outstretched hand to pull us out. Both Brad and I have been raised by people that should have protected us, loved us, and helped us grow into a complete person. That was not the case for either of us, and we were able to pull out of the chaos, madness, and even evil. But some aren't this lucky, and some and need someone like Morrighan. So thank you for your life mission of helping others, attaining the strength and insight to overcome the past and maybe the present. So thank you, Morrighan.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Morgan. We appreciate it.
Made my heart swell. That was so lovely. Seriously, I'm just like, oh, I love that so
Well,
much.
it's true.
Well, we were talking about that, Robin and I, and we were like, transitioning from to healing aspect of it. The only modality you had back in the day was your traditional therapists. Not that that's bad or it's not a bad or a good thing. It's just that's all you had. And as we know, psychologists and therapists are professionally trained. They go to college. There's a model they have to follow. But that doesn't resonate and help every person. And now that there's more nuanced coaches and people to guide and add this modality, I think there's more and more of that coming up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and also too, just even taking the psychology route, we're learning more and more about the nuance of the nervous system and these labels that we call empaths and narcissists and the attachment, the avoidant attachment, right? The anxious attachment. We're learning more and more. This is relatively new language for our world. And so when we were kids and our parents, they had very little information to go on. So we can have compassion for that while also honoring that what they did and didn't do was harmful. And so we get to hold ourselves in that space of compassion as well, that it wasn't their fault per se, but it also hurts. Like it's a yes and kind of scenario.
Right.
So I geek out and I love this age of information. We're getting so many nuances of all of these modalities and mechanisms and the way we navigate and the way we survive. It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah. It was either go see a therapist or go to your priest. That was what my mom told me. I was like, okay, that's it. Well,
that doesn't cover everything. I need something else. Something in the middle.
Something more than
And it's so funny they have you go to somebody, but it's them. It's like the two of you need to go, not just one. You're a product of your environment.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, it's exciting for me because I really do love. I find human nature. I've always spoken about it in such a way that I am woo. I can go spiritual. I can go all the way into the love and light and the angels and the guides. But I also really love the psychology and the brain and the way the nervous system maps out. So I like being this bridge for people where we get a little bit of that and we get a little bit of that, and it forms a complete picture for people. And I think that's what I'm hearing you say is that therapy has its place, but it doesn't touch everything that we need. It doesn't quite get to the space where things start to heal and connect and reform, and you know what I mean. So it's like we're seeking, we're seekers. We want more.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, that's I was skipping around in various chapters of your book because the way you follow it, it's kind of like a guidebook. It's not a cover to cover read necessarily, but you can use any chapter as necessary. And you preface it perfectly with that by saying you wrote the book not for spiritual humans, not for religious humans, for humanity. So there's no targeted audience demographic. So anybody from, if you are religious, can benefit. If you're spiritual, you can benefit. If you're atheist, you can benefit. There's no tagline that this is or is not for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it boils down to humans are humans. And even though we're all unique in our own experiences, we're still formed the same way. We still have a physical body, we have emotions, we have a mental capacity, we have a spirit, we have chakra, we have all the mechanics. We're all built the same, even though we have our own lived experiences. So the book is designed to support humans, no matter what your belief system is. Now, obviously, our beliefs are going to form how much we allow in. Like if you're reading this book and it goes against your belief system, then you obviously won't benefit from it, because our power of receiving, our power of allowing will override that. But the book is written for every single human because we're all built the same way. That's just sort of how I see it.
Yeah. And that book is The Spirited Human: Proactive Tools for a Reactive World by Morrighan Lynne. And I'll post all that. It's in the show notes, and I'll post it in the chat as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, we have to be ready to receive the information. Yeah. We have to have the maturity and the knowing, and not come from a wounded place when we hear things and feel like we're being attacked when we hear information, that we can receive it and then mulch over it and then claim it if we choose to. Is that something?
Yeah, I really just ask people to be willing. Like, just be willing. You don't even have to believe me. Like, I don't expect everyone to get the way I see it or the way I do it or the way I believe it, but there's also a space in there to stay curious. Yeah. And like, I wonder what she means by this. I wonder if that's true of me. Like, I feel like that, like I even get tingles when I talk about it. It's like that space of curiosity is just fertile with possibility. Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It just opens up this really beautiful space within us to receive what we need and throw away what we don't. And that's
it's not a black and white model at all. And
no,
you kind of have to suspend beliefs a bit when you're trying different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Not stay so rigid.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, actually, if you can't tell, this is the book. I think we posted it.
It's everywhere. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful.
It's over here. It's over here. So this is the book. And I've actually had my book for dozens of years when I went to your class. And I do have to say that Morrighan also is intuitive. And at the end of her class, you started calling on people to do a reading for. And you just told us about us. And you said something about me, because I was just new into my working with the human, because I worked with the dead people, with the, cold cases and things like that. And then I switched over to live, and you said something in that class that no one had ever known before. You told me that I was telepathic. And then everybody in the class turned around to stare at me.
Oops.
Where is he? And I went, oh my gosh, you said that out loud. First of all, I said that. And then I said, you are amazing. I said, you just said something that no one ever knew. I never said it out loud. Yeah. And I went, wow. And so I was a believer. I bought that book right off the bat from your husband. And then there's the guy that was standing next to me, and he was just like staring at me. And I go, stop thinking I'm going to read your mind. I am not.
Right. Right. Well, that's the first thing people kind of think, even when you say you're intuitive or you're psychic
Mhm.
or whatever label. I'm
Yes.
always telling people, no, 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 no. I don't read people without permission. I don't even, I don't even turn it on. Like I know how to turn it off because it's an ethics thing for me. So I understand that. I understand why they would wonder if you're reading their minds because there's a lot of misunderstanding about what it means to be intuitive in the world.
So that's our history. So
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it takes one to know one, right? And she picked up on that really quick.
It does actually. That's so I wouldn't call myself telepathic, but I do have the frequency inside me. So when I'm reading someone that is telepathic, I really do just kind of want to like keep my mouth shut and just like throw thoughts back and forth. So it's a certain frequency that hits my system. And so that's how I know. Yeah, that's how I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was very impressed with everything that you said about each person. It was pretty awesome.
That's lovely.
So, yeah, very positive.
Yeah.
So, Brad,
the introduction to the book, I liked how you use the metaphor with breadcrumbs, and you got that from your guides that you call your guys. Those are your guys, and they call it breadcrumbs. And I mean, what a perfect metaphor, you know, because it's like when you're taking that step to finally heal in that journey and that path to kind of seeing, being aware, etc. They don't, I say they, the guides, your spirit, whatever your belief is, God, whomever, it's why not just give me everything now so I know what's going on and I can, you know, fix myself or change myself and have the playbook. And it doesn't work like that. Do you see that a lot of your clients is it a sense of desperation? Do they want that, or do they understand that it's pieces and bits here and there?
I think it's pretty normal for us to want all of the answers all at once. It's normal for us to desire that. It's just that it's not sustainable, I think, is really the core issue that our guides have with that. It's not sustainable. If they were to just give you every single answer you needed, number one, that would be super boring because the entire experience would be over, and then be like, well, now what do I do? Now what?
What are we gonna do?
Oh, that's the answer. Got it. Okay, boring. But it's also not sustainable to our nervous system. We would not be able to process the amount of truth or intuition or whatever it is you're receiving. We would, on a nervous system level, reject it. We like the breadcrumbs because we get to take it's just like eating. I think that's why they use that metaphor, because it's like take a bite, savor it, have it, digest it, take another bite, savor it, digest it, right? That's a sustainable way of growth. And that's entirely what the point is, being here on this planet, is developing and nurturing and expanding and contracting and having the full human experience. If they were to give us everything, it would be over.
Yeah.
Well, and also that can be biblical because it's line upon line, precept upon precept. So, you know, we don't have everything given to us at one lump sum.
No.
Because we could, like you said, we couldn't handle it. We have to process it. We have to absorb it. And then we have to apply it. I think applying it.
Yeah, you've got to embody it. It's not, and also too, I think people look at information, well, just give me the answer, like give me the cognitive kind of like, what are the words, right? But we also, because we're living experiences on this planet, we get to embody that information. We get to experience it on the full embodied level, which is where we actually learn. We don't learn just cognitively. Information is great, but if it's not brought into the body and it's lived, then it's just information. So what? Big deal. It doesn't mean anything, right? So I feel like they know us. I feel like, well, I do know they know us, but it's like they know how we work and they know what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And they're willing, like they want it to work for us. They're not wanting to make it any harder on us. So that's why they don't just give it to us. You can want it and want it and want it, but it doesn't mean you're going to get the answers.
No.
I hear them over there. It's like, yeah, because we're silly humans that way. It's okay.
Yes.
It's just not how it works.
Yeah.
You do have, Robin's right. You do have to be open to receive that, because when you start that journey, well, I'm going to be honest, it'll get uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable because you're so used to that pattern and that black and white safety zone. And when you venture outside that, it's a different world. It's a different word. And that's why I say you got to suspend your beliefs and be open and receptive to this, because it's not just black and white. Here's your answers, read the book and you'll get it. It's applying it. It's the theory. It's that and beyond. So breadcrumbs is a good metaphor.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's very fitting.
Yep. And you had a chapter in here I kind of highlighted. Do you mind if I kind of read some of your book?
No, go for it.
Okay, so it's the 4 glasses. That's page 92, and you talk about 4 body system plays in our life, and one that monitors our overall health and wellness. I think that's a huge thing, is health and wellness too, of a person, to be aware of that. Most of us are overworked, underappreciated. Hello, I understand that. And often,
you're like, that landed.
You just wrote about me. And often driven to a breaking point, trying to cater to everyone's needs within our circle. And, to me, you just defined a mom. You just defined a mother.
Oh, yeah. That would be a lot of moms. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, probably every mom could totally understand what you just wrote. And we worry what people think about us, which is huge, how they judge us, and if they like us. That steers our decision-making process to choose things that don't necessarily support true health and vitality, which is true. I thought that was really profound. And it's something I've been really trying to target on people, is to break out of society, break out of the rules of society, how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to be, and especially the younger zone of, youth coming up are really mega into the example of like Kardashians, just things like that. They want to replicate this
image, vanity, all of that.
It's the empty zone. They're replicating something that's not going to fulfill them inside.
Yeah,
it's just
it's shallow.
External.
Yeah, it's shallow.
But we all did it. We all copied. We all.
I dress like Madonna all the time.
No, you should see my hair.
You're out there somewhere. Somebody out there is dressing up like Madonna when you're a kid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of the the youth aspect, the adolescence. That is such a complicated phase in life for everybody. It's very difficult, and you're just learning individuality a bit. You're trying to find identity, so you're trying to fit in. So of course you're going to be vain. You're going to try to wear the cool clothes, look the best, etc. But after a while, you realize that is just aesthetically skin deep. There's a point where you realize that life there's a depth beyond just what you see. And a lot of people nowadays, Robin's right, especially younger people, it's image. How many clicks can I get? How many views can I get?
It's different than our day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah. I can see how social media has devalued the way that is. Like we've almost devolved in a way, gone backwards in that societal rule book kind of thing with the likes and the clicks. I also kind of scan out and see a bigger picture though. Like I know that there are some that aren't getting caught up in that. If we were to look at the microcosm, of course, there's a lot of issues around that. But I feel like the macrocosm is more about those of us anchoring in the depth and modeling it for people. Like I think the youth will figure it out in their own time and their own way. It just looks different than the way we did it. So they have to do it in their own way with their social media era. And we had it in a different way. We were latchkey kids and absent parents. So we had different, barriers and blocks that were forming us. That's their formation. So they'll figure it out. They have to. That's part of what we get to do when we're here.
Yeah, that's a good point you made. Isn't anchoring one of the chapters? title, I believe.
Mhm.
Because I read the first half. And anchoring, what is that? I mean, people may interpret that. What's the difference between that from dissociation or spiritual bypassing?
Oh, night and day.
Yeah.
So anchoring for me is speaking about the grounding, like coming into like your current self, anchoring in your body, like being embodied is essentially what it comes down to, because dissociation is the literal self-abandonment. It's
Mm.
the
Mhm.
it's the leaving the body, where embodiment is anchoring within the presence. Because being a trauma child that learned how dissociation was a protective measure and didn't
Right.
know this until I was in my late 40s. I didn't even
Yeah.
realize I dissociated because it's just so
Mhm.
natural, right? It's just so commonplace that it's just a part of you, right?
Mhm.
But anchoring is there's a process of it. If you want to move away from that coping mechanism of dissociation, you have to find safety in the body. You have to find safety within self, because the very mechanism of feeling lack of safety is what kicks on the dissociative reaction. And so the safety has to come in first, which means you have to be in your body long enough to stabilize that safety and heal from the trauma that caused that lack of safety. So there's a really beautiful, tender, and thorough process of being able to create safety in the body, because if not, we're gonna find ways to leave when things get overwhelming or we
Yeah.
get in our anxiety. So that's a lot of what I do now. Like when I wrote the book, that was a fairly, not a new concept for me, but I would say I was in my teenage years when I wrote that book. Now I feel like I'm in I'm going for my master's degree in this conversation,
Yeah.
because I've dedicated the last 15 years to embodiment and moving through those spaces that felt unsafe for me. So yeah, it's a really delicate, beautiful process.
Yeah.
Painful,
Yeah. It
excruciating,
is.
gorgeous.
Oh yeah. It's
All of
it's
it's
fun.
all of it.
It's
Yeah.
funny how you
Yeah.
mentioned it. You were in your 40s till you realized that,
Yeah.
and how
Maturity.
long. Yeah. Same here. I mean, it was people. I saw the patterns, and I said, okay, something's got to change. And a lot of people think, like you said, you're in your 40s until you realized it. That's just been how it's your regular baseline.
Yeah.
When do, I guess, your clients or you or anybody see that, okay, this isn't normal? Okay, I wasn't supposed to be
No,
treated
that's
like this
good.
as a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many of us who are like, yeah, I just thought all moms did that.
Yeah.
No, no, they didn't. So
Yeah.
it's not until
Yeah.
like you're 30 something, 40 something, and then you realize, okay, so maybe that's affecting my relationships professionally, romantically, platonically, whatever. Is that kind of one of the common themes or things you see with your clients?
Yeah, I think you're touching on a really true place, in the sense that we don't know until we know. So it takes
Mm.
as long as it takes.
Mhm.
Like for me, I was aware when I would go stay the night at a girlfriend's house in high school and I saw how their family treated each other.
Yeah.
That was when I
Yeah.
realized my family is different, right? So
Yeah.
I already started, something's wrong with this picture. This doesn't,
I think we
what
all
the
were
hell is
there.
going on, right? So
Yeah.
there's like little chips away from the illusion of what you think life is about. And as you have more experience, you're like, wait, so you get into like that really important comparison mode of, that's not how I experience it. So when I found that I dissociated, it was by accident. I didn't realize I was in a trauma class. I was in my first training for trauma coaching.
Mm.
The instructor said something really important, and I knew I missed it. I knew I missed that one sentence, and I went, make a note, timestamp it. I'm going to go back and listen to the recording because I know he said something very important. Got the recording, found the timestamp. I missed 20 minutes of his conversation.
Wow.
Wow.
I went
You were
somewhere.
processing.
I was
Yeah.
gone. He
Yeah.
hit something right just perfectly.
That
I bolted.
happens. Yep.
That's how I realized I dissociate. And so I
Yeah.
think we find it when we find it. And I think truly too, we find it when we're ready to find it.
Exactly.
Going back to that sustainable process of healing, we don't find the things that we're not ready to find. Like, we're not going to allow ourselves the impact of that sudden awakening if we're not subconsciously going to be able to handle it. Does that make sense? Like, even if it's a difficult piece of information, we're still not going to stumble on it until something in us knows we can handle that.
Wow, that's a surreal moment. I mean, you evaluated that time literally and realized, oh, 20 plus minutes or something. It's like missing time, you know, like a UFO abduction or something. It's like they have missing time. You had like 20 something minutes gone, and it's like, what? And then you pause, gap, erase, and then you jump right back in when something hits and you're good to go. That's I got goosebumps.
That's what dissociation is. It's a self-abandonment. Your awareness literally leaves the body. You're literally vacant.
Interesting.
Like, it's not your soul. It's not a near-death experience or anything like that. It's your whole consciousness, your whole whatever makes up your awareness leaves, because the overwhelm equates to danger in the body. And so the awareness doesn't want to feel the danger it thinks is there. And so it escapes to avoid what it's perceiving as danger, because it's not always real danger, right? I was on a Zoom call. I was not in danger, but the nervous system doesn't know the difference sometimes. And so it'll just feel discomfort and it'll go, oh no, I remember this. This is bad. Get out. And so dissociation is self-abandonment.
Interesting. And I was going to add to that, because I think we all have processes we have to go through, because I was in a strict religion and then I had to break out of that. So that was my first step, was that, because it just was too stifling for me. And it took like a dozen years to leave the guilt of that, because they put so much guilt in that I don't want to go too much into it, but I mean, I had a lot to go through, and I was going to go through it, and it was hard. And then I had to break belief systems. That's what's really hard, is how you are trained. Your mind is trained from a young age, and especially with children, being raised, they're trained to think this is okay, or, to go into this. And I always remember feeling that I was sitting either on the edge of my chair, I was always ready to run. I was ready. I was right on the edge of the chair.
Say the word, I'm out.
Yep. I'm ready to go. Or I always felt like if things were going good in my life, I was looking over here to see when that bad thing's going to come get me. I was always waiting for it. So I mean, things were going really good, but I wasn't comfortable in that good spot. I was waiting for the trauma or the something to come get me and get me off kilter, because that's what I was
like. It's too good to be true to last too long. I'm waiting for this complete derailment, and then me, I would self-sabotage it. That was my problem. I would derail it myself. And
self-sabotaging is huge.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I think we all do that.
That's all forms of self-abandonment, by the way.
Is it?
Oh yeah, the hypervigilance of like, I'm like the pre-flight, like I'm ready to fight, like flight, the trauma response. Hypervigilance, like watching everything and ready to bolt. That is 100% self-abandonment, because you're not in, you're out here scanning the room, because you're literally out of the body. You're just not in the next state with dissociation. You're just in the room, right?
But you're prepped and ready to go if it goes down.
Got your go bag, you're ready. And then self-sabotage is another form of self-abandonment, because there's also kind of this preemptive, I'm ready to go at any time, but I'm going to go and attack the thing so that it doesn't attack me first. So there's a kind of if I hurt it, it can't hurt me kind of.
You keep that space in between, so you don't make the connection emotionally like you should, which is healthy. And you you ruin it. It's like, God, I don't know how many things I probably ruined from doing that, but I didn't realize I was doing it.
Well,
Yeah.
and it comes down to it being a capacity issue too. So the other side of the coin of self-abandonment is capacity. When you have space in your body, so trauma teaches us to be really compacted. Like if you're a small target, you're hard to hit.
Right.
That's the math.
Oh.
If I'm small, then I'm going to be hard to hit. So I'm going to make myself real tiny. Energetically, that's a real thing. So that the aura will come in and get real tight. Your central channel that holds your chakra system gets real narrow.
Yep.
So there's not a lot of flow. So it literally starts like you're in the Star Wars trash compactor is what I just
oh yeah.
So it's squeezing the crap out of you because it's
so whoever's watching and listening, if you know the analogy Morgan just brought up, it was the first Star Wars, and they were in that compactor and they were fighting the stormtroopers, and it was Han Solo, Chewie, and Luke, and
they're going
all that water and sewage,
and
they're
the
just trying to get their way out of it.
That was awesome.
We're dating ourselves here, y'all. So.
I will date myself over and over again. I don't care how to be a Gen X.
Great.
But it's a space issue. And so what happened, pardon the pun, as we talk about Star Wars. So self-abandonment happens when that space starts getting real tight. The spirit wants to, like the awareness wants to not be in that tightness. So practicing to expand your capacity, like letting that central channel have a little bit of room to breathe and opening up your spaciousness within your field allows you to stay in your body so much easier than worrying about, am I leaving yet? Like it allows for you to hold the overwhelm because it minimizes it now that there's so much space. So imagine you have like a glass of water that's filled to the very tip of the brim. Any extra stress that you pour in is going to spill over. So that's how the capacity works. If you open that capacity and you make that vase, now it's a barrel, there's so much space for more in it now that you don't get overwhelmed. You don't dissociate. You don't have to sabotage. You don't have to fight or flight. Like it allows for more clarity because you're not flooding the nervous system with one more glass of stress. Okay. So that's where I've been practicing with people is in their capacity.
Would you classify walking on eggshells, that approach, would that fall under the same?
The same of like
with the capacity aspect of it, walking on eggshells, you're constantly you're treading very lightly because you don't want to say or do something wrong or show up in the room and get involved into an argument that you weren't even a part of. So you tread lightly.
That's all trauma. So you, as a child, you probably had a parent that was unstable and you were unsure, and any slight disruption to their day probably evoked a loud response from them. So as a child, you learned, be small, be quiet, be gentle, don't say the wrong thing. So that's definitely how the child gets trained to be small. So I work with people on helping them take their full space. Right.
Wow, is that needed?
Oh my God.
Wow. Definitely, for sure.
Happening. Like miracles happen, and it's so simple because it's just the mechanism of space within our field, but we don't realize how we're living so tiny, so small.
That is so amazing because I was so shy growing up, so scared of everything. And I walked behind my mom all the time. I couldn't figure out why I hid. I would hide as much as I could. And I was trying to be small.
Small
target. I just had an epiphany. Wow.
Yeah. That's what it takes sometimes. I mean,
that's all it takes. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, good job.
Now I always wondered why I did that.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. We're kids. We don't have language. We don't understand this world. And our parents aren't giving us valuable information. So we don't know what they're like. We're just trying to get through the hard stuff.
And you think mom and dad know what's right. they're adults. You always go to the adult.
What
The
we're
teacher
told.
knows what's right. Yeah, the police officer knows what's right. You know,
Right.
yeah, the priest at church knows what's right. Listen to them, listen to them, listen to them. And
Mm-hmm.
that goes into what Robin was saying, is that social programming. And you were saying we're trained like that subconsciously without even realizing it. So you're all of your imagination as a kid, you know, when you're before the age of like 9 years old, it kind of just fades away and you forget about that because
Yeah.
you're being regimented to be this societal belonging to society, and you're trying to, you know, have that image, and it's like, no, none of this is making any sense. And it was my early years that I realized that I just had to deal with it for a long time,
Yeah.
and it became a regular thing. It's like, okay, I guess this is my baseline, until you have your epiphany, and then you realize it's like, okay, I need help or something. I need a guideline or something. But we didn't have Morrighan Lynne's then. We didn't have anybody like that to coach.
We didn't. We didn't.
Yeah. I so wish we did.
We were
It
just
really would have. Yeah.
I can't even
saved
tell
me
you
2 marriages, Morrighan. Thank you.
how many times I've said to a client where I'm like, they're in their late teens, early 20s, and I'm in my head going, God, I wish I knew somebody like me when I was that age, because the pain and the struggle it would have saved. And then I breathe, and then I go, and that wasn't my path. That wasn't my path.
Yeah.
My path was my path, and I had what I had, and okay, I'm here now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the play. That was the playbook for you, and it worked. Yeah, it's the reason for everything.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So when you have a client come in and you start working with them, what is your you must assess the situation, and then do you have a plan for them? Do they stay with you for a while and have like a workbook, and then you both work it out together? How do you work when you have clients?
So it's very tailor-made. Nobody gets the same practices or processes or anything like that, because I look at it like, my favorite way to see people is everyone is like their own puzzle box. We all need the work, whatever that means. That's why I wrote the book the way I wrote it. Everyone needs the work, whatever the work means to you. We need tools to help us like unravel all of those programs that we picked up as children, right? But everybody needs it in their own way, because we are so vastly complex and unique in our experiences that everyone has their own trauma, everyone has their own upbringing, their own beliefs, et cetera, et cetera. So everyone gets their own style of what is going to help them unravel those programs. So yes, first we start with a consultation. I just kind of want to get to know them, like where they feel like they're stumbling, what feels really hard for them, like what, and then also like where they want to be at the end of our journey together. Like, what's your goal? What's your vision for that end result? Then it's very intuitive from there. So the guides start chiming in and they say, this is what we would like them to do. This is what we can see for them. And so it starts getting kind of crafted that way. And then it's organic from there. We have our first session, and we whatever happens is what happens. One of my skill sets is I'm listening. Let me feel that. How do I want to say that? I'm listening for what they're not saying. I'm hearing them, but I'm listening for what's in the subconscious part of them. I'm listening to patterns in the way they speak about things. That starts to kind of show me where they're stuck and they don't realize they're stuck. And so we go after it. And I was like, I noticed you keep saying this word right there. Let's talk about that word. What does that word mean to you? And so it's like a thread. We just start pulling it, and then things start to unravel, and then it goes where it goes. Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah, you realize you're going in because you realize there's something you can do about it, and you think you know what it is, and then you have the conversation, and you have that unbiased third party who can pinpoint other things that are underlying, and then when you bring it up, it's like, oh,
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm not emotionally tied to their story.
Right.
Like, one of the things that keeps us stuck is our emotional system and our making it mean something system. So when I have something happen in me, I make it mean something, and now that's real or it's true. I don't have that story that they have. I can see it
Yeah.
for what it actually is. And so it makes my position very unique in that way, where I'm that unbiased, other person that can go, hey, I'm noticing how you keep, mentioning this thing. And they're like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I never talk about that. And I'm like, yes, you do
Yeah,
every
you
single
do.
time.
You do.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
Yeah,
focus on
You
that.
need that.
exactly.
You
Because
don't
if you
need
listen to
what you want to
people,
hear. Yeah.
yeah, if you let
Yeah.
people talk long enough, you will hear the truth.
That's right. I
Mhm.
just let them ramble for
Mhm.
like the first 20,
Yes, that's
25
exactly
minutes.
it.
And
Mhm.
I'm just getting all the intel. And I'm like, I know exactly what we're
Mhm.
doing. Let's do
Yes.
this. And then
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
starts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. My guides have taught me how to do that. Um, so I really enjoy it, even as like the sacred witness, watching me do the work with the person, watching them do the work. I really love it. I geek out a little bit
Wow.
because I'm like, I would never have, like, my brain would never notice that. Like, this is what I love about that field of the intuition.
Yeah.
I'm picking up things that I wouldn't normally notice as just like a human. Like,
Yeah.
I love the way the work works. So, yeah,
Yes. Yes. To go a step above who we
exactly.
are, and we listen to that. And I think that's, as an intuitive, that takes time to
Mhm.
listen and to take yourself out of the ballpark of it.
100%.
As I do readings, a lot of times it's like I did a reading for a lady, and I kept bringing in my stories to the reading, and my computer crashed. And I brought it back
Oh.
up, and I lost everything. And the
Ooh,
voice said, take yourself out of the reading and just deliver the information.
yeah.
And I did that. Perfect.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we're still learning, and they spank us a little bit.
Oh my gosh, of course. Because we also get to give ourselves grace
Yes.
for being human.
Yes.
It's okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
So
love that. I love that story.
yeah, that was a learning lesson. I've never done that again. I just give direct information,
Yeah.
and if I feel to keep myself out of it, it's not about me. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's not about you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They'll do, like, sometimes when I'm in a reading or a session or something, and I'll say something, because every now and then I'll channel and I know it's not me saying it. It'll come through, and then they'll go, hey, that was for you too. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dang
Yeah.
it. Like, that was
Oh,
like, I needed to hear that too. And I'm like, all
oh,
right, I'll make a note.
yeah.
Because
Every
we're all
session I
learning.
do too, I learn so much, and I learn so much about myself also through
Yeah.
readings for other people. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's
So
an interesting way to apply that.
yeah.
I'm going to say ability, or gift, and then you realize that other people, when they heal and they clear that up for that to come in, you realize, oh, I've become more intuitive in the last few years, ever
Mhm.
than before, because I was
Yeah.
just black and white, you know, lost in the ego. And then when you surrender, let go, and be receptive, and let your hands open instead of balled fists, you leave your hands open to receive. And then you realize, oh God, it opens a door in the mind and spirit and the soul. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of eerie, but that's how it works. And some people
Mhm.
don't get the chance or opportunity, or they don't want it their entire life. And they
Mhm.
from birth to their last breath is stuck in that blockage. I was like, wow, if I didn't do something at the time I did it, I would probably go to the grave the same way, and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
another product of the generation. And
Yeah.
then I was like, I got to be the cycle breaker. You have to.
Yeah. That's true, Brad. A cycle
Yeah.
breaker. I think
Yeah.
that's what we're doing in our families, is we're breaking the cycle.
Well, I
Mhm.
actually feel like Gen X is the generation of cycle breakers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's my theory. I feel like we as souls, and not a lot of people will resonate with this, because I know what it's going to sound like. I know it's going to sound like we didn't have a choice. We absolutely have a choice. I get that. But as souls, we said, as a group, we will be that. We will go in. We took the hit from the other generations not having the emotional intelligence that we are now afforded.
Yeah.
We took it, like, I look at it like a levee to a hurricane. Like
Wow.
that intergenerational trauma was just going to keep barreling through. And we said no. So we took the hit.
You're right.
We said we would be that. And it sucked for us. I'm not even going to lie about that.
Mm.
And yet, here we are. We have changed intergenerational trauma so that these younger souls coming in, they're jumping in right away without having to work through the trauma that we had to work through.
Yeah.
So they're getting to work immediately. Now yes, in a micro individual level, everyone has their own issues and they're working through that. But I'm speaking more just on a population macrocosm generation way. They got to work right away. And that's because of us. We took it. We said we would do it. And we did our job really, really well.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're succeeding in this part of our lives.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely.
The contract was early. The contract was like, give or take a couple years, maybe 5 to 10 years, but we took it up till about our 40s.
Mhm.
That was about where we like took the shit. And then we said, we're not
Yes.
anymore.
That's exactly 40s.
And we stepped into our own personal development, and we've embodied that more and more for every year we're alive. So I see this really beautiful divine dance being perfectly timed and perfectly orchestrated. I don't think anything's wrong. I think everything is timed. There are a lot of things we have to work on, but big picture, we're doing it. Big picture, it's working.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a price to pay too doing that.
Mhm.
When you realize it and you become that cycle breaker, you're your family's gonna turn on you and think you're selfish or whatever. You're gonna lose a social circle. And I mean, that's just when you realize and you do the work, though, you realize how deep this is and what it looks like on the other side. All of that price paid is, if that's what it costs for inner peace and to move forward in peace, it's worth every bit of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I went no contact with every single family member except for my son. Oh, we lost Robin.
I guess so. She'll join back in.
I went no contact with every single one of my family members. I have 2 younger cousins and my son that I still stay in touch with, because that was the price I paid actively. Like, I chose that because I got to ask myself, what am I committed to? Like, what am I committed to? Am I committed to making sure everyone else is okay? Or am I committed to my own development that they're not okay with? And so it was a choice, a definite choice. Yeah.
Yeah. The toxic family is one thing you got to realize, because that guilt is added. It's like, oh yeah, but that's your mom, but that's your dad. Oh yeah, but that's your aunt, whatever. It's like, okay, well, why isn't anybody telling them, yeah, but that's your son. Yeah, but that's your nephew.
Thank you.
Nobody's saying that. So I've got to eat the shit with a spoon, sort of, because that's how it goes. Something's not right here. Right. So when you flip the script, they definitely don't like that. Nobody likes to be uncomfortable, because now you're the jerk, because you've made everybody uncomfortable, because you're integrating and changing, and they want to stay in that same rut. And when you get out of a rut and you get a smooth sail going, or a clean run, it's like nobody wants to see you ahead, even your own family. And that was kind of one of the most confusing aspects of it, is this is family. These are the people who are supposed to care about me and love me and protect, etc. And you realize at the end of the day, nobody really gives a shit unless you're making everybody happy, and you can't do that anymore.
Right.
You can't do that anymore.
Right. I got logged out.
Okay. Oh, there she is. Yeah.
There you are.
my computer is brand new, froze up, and then just went boom, and I was out. So I'm good.
It just needed a pause. It needed a moment.
I did. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We were talking about what you lose in the journey, and a lot of it is your social circle, toxic family. Morrighan was talking about how she went no contact with pretty much everybody in her family. I said the same thing, but you realize that's kind of what that's part of the price. And if you don't do that, though, and willing to make that sacrifice, you're going to be the next generation to chalk that up on the board and be the same.
That's right.
Well, it just depends on the level of
Yeah.
toxicity that you're raised in, but I think for your own survival, you have to break that cord.
Mm.
And they don't understand, they won't my brother came at me like a vengeance, like, what's wrong with you? And I'm going, I think it's you. So
Yeah.
I need to go away for a while.
Oh,
I may come back,
yeah.
and maybe we can work this out. This doesn't mean forever,
Yeah.
but maybe this is, and I told Brad that he lost his dad. And I said, when you lose your parents, I know this is sad to say, but sometimes there's a freedom in that.
Yes. It's a relief. I felt it.
It's where you can start to become who you are. And I know I love my mom dearly, but I really felt in the last 20 years, I was able to develop me. I found me. I never found me before because I had always that constantness of. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because sometimes I feel, is that right? Maybe we need to keep with our family. I don't. There's such a guilt thing with that too.
It's a very personal. It is a very personal decision.
Yes.
So every person gets to make that for themselves.
Correct.
And I don't think going no contact is the catch-all answer that's going to solve everything, because going no contact has its own other collection of issues that you individually have to work through. Like for me, I had to work through the loneliness of, now I'm voluntarily orphaned is how it feels. Like I volunteered my orphanage, right?
Yeah.
So I like, there's real grief that comes from being that person.
That's true.
And so then I would always go, okay, what's my alternative? Well, I could go back. I could make amends. I can start that up again. And then I'd feel that and I'd go, yeah, no, I'm good.
Water.
You got tired of being tired.
Never mind.
I'm
good.
I will deal with the grief on my own, and then that'll be okay. But
we'll see you on the rainbow bridge.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But that is a loss, though. That is a loss, and I'm sure there. I don't know if you had. Yeah, I don't know if you had clients like this, but I know therapists. I know some therapists that they've had the same thing. It's like, they give them the tools and kind of give them the direction, and they're doing the work, but it's like, oh, this lonely part. Let's say it's the lonely part. This sucks. So they I guess crawl back to the box and go into where they came from, and they think they make amends. Oh yeah, my family and I are good. They apologize. We work stuff out, and then it's like, yeah, you work stuff out for now.
Yeah.
Just give it a minute. It'll come back, and sure enough, it stirs back up, and then they're looking for help again. And you got to be willing to walk away and, as Robin said, cut that cord.
Yeah.
Well, and I sometimes think that families, because you're raised in a certain way, that when you start changing and becoming something different, it might make them uncomfortable with who you are, because they can't relate to you now. So they're trying so hard to bring you back to that person that they can relate to. And you're trying to push away, go, no, I'm good. I'm here. I'm zenning. I'm, doing my yoga. And they're going, no, let's go out and party. Let's go out and do this. And you go, no. And then that makes them feel uncomfortable. And then,
well, yeah, they benefited from you being that, because that's ultimately how I see it comes down to, is that if you go to somebody, anybody, friend, family, whatever, and you say, hey, I know this is how I've always been, but that's not working for me anymore. I'm learning something new. I want to be this now. I'm really feeling good about this. And if that person goes, ew, no, are you kidding me? No, like you get to run for the hills, because that person is claiming that they love you, and they're not backing it up with actual love. They're backing
that's not love.
That's not love. And so that's actually the differentiating moment of, like, when someone loves you, they're going to go, great. I love that for you. I have no idea what you're talking about, but gosh darn it, I'm just so happy for you.
Yeah.
Keep those people at all costs, because they don't understand you and they're willing to still love you. That's love. That's the difference. And so when we're going into
Yeah.
these situations, I know the holidays bring up a conversation like this.
Yeah.
Well, my family just doesn't get me and they want me to be this. It's because they are benefiting from you being that way. And yeah,
Yes.
they're uncomfortable with the new you, but that's all that shows is that they don't actually love you. But yet we are trying so hard to get people to get us that we will betray ourselves to hope that they get us. No, just no. You get to get you, and you get to believe in you, and you get to embody who you want to be. And then just pay attention to how people respond to you, because that's going to tell you everything you need to know about that person's commitment to you.
True.
Yeah. Or you get you come back and you try to, integrate back into the circle. And it's like, oh, Brad, you've changed, man. What's going on? You're right. I did. I changed. I said, do you want to be the same individual for the next 40 years of your life? If that's what you want, that's fine for you. But no, I need to change. Everybody should be. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. So if you're not sprouting, I mean, that's what life's about is a continual growth. And some people want to limit. They want stunted growth, and that's it. Yeah.
As soon as they say, oh, you've changed, they're saying, I don't like what you're changing into because I liked it the other way. Nope. You need a heads up about that. You need to really just hear the truth in that. They have no desire. It's not even about them changing with you. They have no desire to hold the new version of you, to be willing to allow you to be who you are. They are saying, go back to the way I can control you.
Because it was convenient for them.
Go back to what's convenient for
comfortable.
me.
Yeah.
No, you are worth your own evolution.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. And when you level up like that, then even more, there's you think you're okay. I cut the cord with the toxic people. Now I've kind of, making new friends, associates, colleagues, and you're leveling up. And then you start to realize, okay, they don't like when you level up because you leveled up already. And then you got a new crew, and then you leveled up again, which is, you should always kind of be improving. Right. And you do that, they see that. And then it's like a road to the top is a lonely path sometimes. And that's just what inner peace costs to me.
Inner peace. Then also there's like a deeper conversation for myself. It's that, what am I committed to? I'm committed to myself, my embodiment. Like I have a vow, a promise to myself that I'm committed to my nervous system first.
Yes.
First. And then everyone else after. If something is going to dissociate me, or if something is going to drive me into that fight or flight kind of mode, if I'm going into people pleaser, or if I have to get your approval in any way that's going to have me self-abandon myself. Now, I am not perfect. This is something I'm dismantling for myself because my trauma wrote me as a people pleaser. So I am working on that.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, but if I am noticing that I'm abandoning myself to make someone else comfortable, I know immediately that relationship is on a time limit. It's got a shelf life.
Yes, it does.
That's true.
And you notice that so much quicker than you ever did before.
Oh God,
you can spot it so much faster.
I am super grateful about that. But that shit is fast now.
Well, that's maturity too, and that's getting the hard hits. You just start tallying them up and figure it out. You did write something in here. I kind of want to cover the statement. It's just actually a little statement, and says, if we weren't watchful of our desperation to just be loved, we might let just anybody love us. That is
that gives me chills. I haven't read that in so long.
You wrote that. You wrote that.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you.
It has your initials after it. That just puts a lot of relationships and toxic relationships in a nutshell.
Yeah, because we're all running around. Ultimately, we just want to belong, right? We just want to be loved and accepted. That's all. It's so simple.
It is.
we come from really toxic environments that didn't teach the appropriateness of what it means to be loved and accepted.
Right.
Correct.
We grew up in relationships that taught transactional love and acceptance.
Yes.
If you do this for
Ah.
me, I will do this for you. And so
Yep.
we learned
Yep.
that our value was transactional. It was not unconditional.
Mhm.
If we're not careful, we grow up from children to adults, and then we do it everywhere because now
Mhm.
we've learned the game as children and we're playing the game. Maybe we're proficient, maybe we're a little clumsy at it, but we're really at the core, it's just that wounded child that just wants the acceptance that they didn't get.
Exactly.
In a clean way, right? That clean, healthy connection and safety. And so if we're not careful, then that wound exacerbates and it runs our life.
And
Yeah.
the success rate is nil
Yeah.
in the relationship.
Hard life. I've lived it. It's very
Well,
hard.
we all, yes.
Very hard
'Cause we're
life to live.
humans are social creatures that, like you said, to be accepted and loved, and it's really simple, right? But
Yeah.
no, it's not. It isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't. That's the paradox of it all.
Yeah,
It's
that's true, Brad.
simple, but it's not. Yeah.
Well, it's simple, but humans have found a way to weaponize it, and that's where
Yes, they
Oh,
have.
that's a good way.
We've weaponized it. Oh, you
Yeah.
want to be loved and accepted? Prove it. Why should you be in my we have learned to manipulate and contort something so simple,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's what we're all healing from.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I thought that was just a very profound, that kind of just hit me in your book.
Beautiful. I
Yeah,
love
because
that.
I mean, you see that with relationship, especially like, romantic partnerships. I know some people that they've always had a boyfriend, they've always had a girlfriend, and it's like there's no gap in between that. The beauty in between empty space is where you get to just be and kind of find the solitude, realize the benefit of it when you get to know yourself, accept the rejection, because I think everything stems that your power is grown in rejection, and you don't even realize it. And that aspect of what Robin just said, what you wrote in the book, you always need a connection to something. So you always need a boyfriend, you need a girlfriend, you need a husband, you need a wife. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't until you know yourself. And then you can determine, okay, I want a husband or a wife or partner. What do I want in that partner that's going to complement what I've grown into? And when you're constantly hopping around relationship to relationship, there's absolutely no time to even determine that for yourself.
That's exactly true.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're saying that, it brings me to a space where I hear the core wound in that. And the core wound is this. It's the first wound that all wounds were sprung from. So it's the first, and it's usually parental, right?
Right.
And almost always it's mother, because mother is the first love. It doesn't always work like that, but there's a majority of that. When that core wound is ignited, it's usually a statement that goes against your value, meaning I'm unworthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough. So something is, your value is innate. We're born with value. There's no needing to prove it. But as children, we learn, oh, mommy's mad at me because I'm not good enough.
Right.
So we're trying to make sense of this, right? So that core wound starts twisting our reality. And so let's just say, like, my core wound statement is I'm unworthy. That's my statement. As a child, because I know intuitively that that's not true, there's something in me that's going to go, you know what? No, that's not true. And so this rebel almost kicks in. The core wound looks true because it keeps happening, but I feel like it's not true. And so now I've got a battle. Now I've got something I need to prove. So the child goes into the world, becomes the adult, and it goes into the rebellious. I'm going to prove my mom wrong. Oh, she thinks I'm not good enough. Watch this. So I did date all the people. I did marry all the people I could find that would marry me, so that I could prove that that core wound statement wasn't true. So it's complex in that way. I bring it in there to show the complexity of, it's not as easy as saying, well, I'm just not going to date, because if I do that, in my subconscious, my mom is right.
Right.
She
So
said I
true.
was unworthy. No, no, no. I have to prove that I'm worthy of love. So I have to go find people that love me. And so it's really about getting down to the core wound, because that wound is that's the gas pedal that's driving your life.
Yeah.
So if you were to find that core wound and then who you're trying to prove wrong, because that person will be different for everyone, you get to unravel the compulsion of what has you stuck in that I'm going to prove something.
Yeah.
Right? That's the depth of where I go with people, because if we don't get to that core wound, we can do all the modalities and you could read all the books and take all the classes on the surface. But that core wound is the one that's in charge. And so that's one of the things I'm listening for. It's like, I want to know what that core wound statement is. As soon as I get that, we just start unraveling that, because now
that's so true. Because think on my past, that's definitely true. And then when you're like, okay, like your example, well, then I'm not gonna date. Well, then now you're depriving yourself of a certain happiness you can make, or connection, and then you gave your power away. And then it's like, okay, mom won or dad won or whomever. And it's like, no, you can't do that. And there's nothing, when you realize there's nothing to prove or validate, and you take those terms out of your vocabulary, it kind of makes it a little easier if you're fine with cutting the cord and going. Yeah.
Because it's also not on a cognitive level, because you don't access that language because it's not in the cognitive space. It's in the subconscious area, like it's in the shadow. So it's not as easy to go, well, my mom was wrong, I'm not going to believe her. Like, because my whole my nervous system was formed with that reality. So my whole nervous system as a child believes it. So it's not as easy you can't mindset your way through that. You can't use positive. This is why positive affirmations are beautiful, but they don't get where you need to get.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not going to get you into that deep healing.
It's just masking. Yeah.
Gotta get into that shadow.
It's a form of spiritual bypassing by doing that. And that used to be the thing, though. Positive affirmations on the calendar. If somebody at the office had a calendar with affirmations, people write stuff on their mirror morning or whatever. And it's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I mean, it's not going to do the complete job.
It's not a bad thing, but we should stop shaming people for actually talking about how they actually feel. This is where I cannot stand spiritual bypassing people, is if I say I'm sad today, or I feel like I'm in grief, and they're like, oh, you should be positive. Like, you can F off. Like, I feel sad today.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
there's
gonna
nourishment and being able to name the thing you are in, to be able to alchemize the emotion that you're in, not
feel it and process it.
Feel it.
Well,
gotta see it.
And I think too, when you ask, oh, how you doing? And they go, oh, I'm sad. You go, oh, okay. And then you go along the way because you don't know what to do. Like, okay, how involved do I want to get now with this person because they're sad?
I ask people, are you sure you want to know? I give people the out. I said, do you want to know the truth? I do, because I don't like that. I'm fine.
Yes.
I don't like that.
We all have the face.
Well, how much do you want to know?
The happy face. Yeah, I agree.
I figured if you ask,
that's the small talk, right? When you walk in and you're meeting up with somebody, or you're at work. Oh, hey, how you doing, man? That's kind of like the program thing that you say to somebody for the chit chat for a minute or so you can go on about your day. So I think I've known when I had my awakening, just like, I'm like you, Morgan, I don't have time for the chit chat and small talk. If you're going to ask me, I'll tell you. And how do you, like you said, do you really want to know? Because you just don't have time for the BS anymore, because the small talk doesn't do it anymore. It just doesn't. It's just.
Yeah. But also I see it too, like, well, if you're going to ask me, I'm going to honor the honesty of your question. So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a moment to, like, really make sure you mean that. And I don't do this for every single person, but for people that I care about, right? So I want to know, like, are you sure? And then I also see it too as I'm modeling for them to also break that. I'm
Good
fine.
point.
Like
Yeah.
we're all teachers and we're all students. I'm going to model this, but also not betray myself with lying about it, because I don't
Right.
want to do that to myself. So there's a really beautiful dance in there somewhere of I'm just going to show up authentically, and you're either going to be able to hold that with me or not, and that's not my decision. That's okay.
So I do have
But
a question.
I'm sorry, but that may be the spark that does get somebody to change. That's a good point.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Robin. Sorry.
Well, what do you think about people that just vomit their emotions on you and then they walk away all happy and you're going, okay, I feel like crap. You know,
I don't do that.
No, not you, but
what I
people.
mean is, yes, they have no emotional intelligence. They're just looking for a dumping station.
Yep.
And so I would say, wow, something around the lines of, that sounds really hard. How are you going to handle that? I give it back to them.
Okay.
It's not mine to take, because I also know what's happening right there. Like, I know that I'm a safe space. I will hear you, but it doesn't mean I'm going to take the burden from you. Like, I will
you're not going to be the
"Oh,
sponge. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that is hard. Here, how are you going to handle that? And I'll give it right back. And then they kind of go, oh, well, I don't know. I'll figure it out. And I'm like, awesome. Well, let me know if I can support you.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's a
But
good.
the owner, you put the ownership back on them in a very subtle and proper way, because they probably weren't expecting it. There's like, oh, Morgan's so nice to talk to. She's so easy to talk to. I'm just going to go emotionally dump and just get it out of my system so I can go on about my day. But then you realize, let me give you the reflection. It's back on you. It's like, oh, I don't know. I'll figure it out. You kind of stump them, and you cause them to think again from that perspective.
That's because they're not expecting it. And then they'll go, oh, what am I going to do about that? And then there's also the ones that won't notice you did that, and they'll just keep dumping. And I've had to have a moment where I'm like,
yes,
I really hear you. I want you to know I really hear you. And I need you to know I don't have the capacity for this today. Can we set up a lunch next week and we'll talk about it? Like it's a way, like, because the bottom line is, where am I self-abandoning? I'm standing there just taking it. That's a form of self-abandonment.
It is.
Oh,
I will not do it. So I will not do that to myself. So when I notice, and when I'm like equipped and can catch it, I will give it back to them. I will draw a hard boundary. And I love you, and we can talk about it at another time. But today I don't have the capacity.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good way to approach it.
That's very good. Thank you for that, because that's, when you're in work situations, it happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was a hairdresser, and so people, I couldn't run away. I was cutting someone's hair, and I was like, okay. So in your mind, you just
hairdressers and bartenders have got to hear the most atrocious stories.
Oh, it was just like, and they just like, they sit down and they just start going, and you're going, okay, you're the fastest haircut I'm doing,
Yeah, it's like, hurry, get out of my chair. I got another client. Hurry.
No, but you
no,
just,
I know.
You listen to it because they have an audience. You can't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in
it's a really good opportunity to practice those energetic boundaries. That's I really hear you. I want people to really feel heard. I think that there's value when people are heard and they're held, they heal. So there's value there. But to hear you doesn't mean I have to be your dump station. Like, I can hear you with the appropriate boundaries, and that's up to me to put into place.
Yeah. And I like that. I do want to read something else from your book. Do you mind?
No, I'm loving this trip down memory. I love it.
So this is page 144. And this is honor, your honor chapter. And it says, the bottom line is, I watch everyone, those who love me, those that hate me, and everyone in between. I hold the line regardless of who is standing at it. The truth, sorry, I'm dyslexic, so sometimes words move on me. The truth is boundaries. I love the word boundaries, my favorite word ever, are never about the other person anyway. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone else but ourselves. The boundaries I put in place are more to monitor myself than anything. I am the one that has to allow harmful, toxic people to abuse me. I have let them walk in without question and taking anything they wanted. I seem to have this little thing about me that gets me into trouble. And then you said, I trust blindly. And if I'm not mindful, I'll trust those that intend to do harm.
Mm.
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 Huge.
That is still true today as it was the day I wrote it. I watch everyone, and I don't mean that in a hypervigilant way, although that was definitely part of my survival strategy at that point.
Mhm.
But what I mean is I watch everyone equally. Like I used to say, it's a mantra. It might even be in the book. Everyone gets the same boundaries, whether they're
Mm.
alive or dead, human or non-human, friend or foe. Everyone gets the same boundaries, and it's how I approach the conversation about boundaries. Because if I give this person a different set of boundaries than I give this person, I'm confused.
Hmm.
I'm
Mhm.
confused. My
You don't
frequency,
remember.
yeah, and my frequency is confused. The universe doesn't know how to support me because I'm wishy-washy.
Right.
So that's what I mean by like I keep it for me. I've got to keep myself in check, so to speak, because if not, I will forget what I said to this person versus what I said to that person.
Mhm.
So everyone gets the same boundaries. That's why when we go into conversations like going no contact with family, I am the first person to say family is just people.
Hmm.
They don't get different boundaries. They don't get to abuse you where you wouldn't allow that from a stranger. Everyone gets
Exactly.
the boundaries. So it keeps it clean. It keeps it easy to remember, and it keeps my frequency, my field in its integrity, like the structural integrity is intact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
You have your hard line in the sand on stuff, and it has to be the same for everyone.
And it's
Definitely.
consistent. And then they
True.
learn the consistency. And so
Yep.
I have to keep speaking to that. Mhm.
Yep.
Do,
And
do
they'll
you
know
find
your
when people find that honor, that it's often mistaken for being selfish? That's, when you find that in yourself, it's like, oh, well, you've become selfish now, Brad. It's like, no,
Yeah,
it's not
No.
selfish.
but that speaks more to them than me. Like I hear,
Right.
like I get the word selfish a lot. I am very selfish. I am sacredly selfish.
Sacredly
I
selfish.
will choose me first.
Yeah.
We
Good.
have to be that way. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I was gonna say that's the way you should be. Yeah.
Somewhere in the weaponization of all of these things that humanity is naturally attuned to, we have misunderstood what selfish means. And some people use it in harm. So I understand that way. But that speaks more to, again, going back to that boundary conversation of, well, they're just not benefiting from me over giving anymore. So of course that looks selfish to them. I hear
Yeah.
what they mean, but I don't actually have to believe them. Whether or not I agree with them, if it's selfish, is a choice. Like I hear what they mean, but okay, that's how you see it. I'm good. I'm good.
Uh,
So if that's how you want to
yeah.
see me, good. Got
Yep.
it. Thank
Good. There's can I read a chat? There's
you.
a chat on here. He says, I've read, or I can't see, he is resting BF. I've read before.
I love the name.
I've read before that we shouldn't try to fix/heal toxic people, but rather what to heal in yourself drew you to them.
Ding, ding,
What?
ding.
Yes. Yep. I would agree with that.
100%.
Yeah.
Number one, it's not our job to fix or heal anyone.
Right.
No.
When you go into a service-oriented space like coaching or therapy, it is your job to be the space holder for that person's healing journey.
Yes.
Because I'm not healing anyone. They are stepping into the realm of desiring that healing, and I have the tools and the techniques and such to help them along the way.
Yeah.
So number one, it's never our job.
Okay.
And then, yes, I love the last part of that statement. yes, there's a part of us that is calling in that person. There's a pattern, there's a longing, maybe going back to the core wound. I know I attracted a lot of people that looked like my mom, like
Really?
energetically. Oh, men, women, animals, everyone looked like my mom.
I've heard that that there's physical traits as well as the emotional and psychological that you pick up. But I was like, how can it be I mean, you is that that can't be a coincidence.
I don't mean physically look like her. I mean, I'm going third eye, not physical eyes.
Character, overall character wise. Yeah, no, but I knew what you meant. It's still, it's like, I'm picking a carbon copy of them almost sometimes.
Yeah, because there's something, it's that core wound calling. And that's ultimately what our subconscious is going after to heal. So it can only heal if so my mom passed, I don't know, 23 years ago or something. So I didn't have her to work this out with anymore. So I had to keep calling in people that looked a lot like her, sounded a lot like her, acted a lot like her. Because the core wound is like, we're so close. We're gonna get this. Like one more person, one more person, one more person, one more person. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're just calling in our wound. We're calling in our wound.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's the central aspect of it all, is the core. I mean, the baseline. If you can't ignore that part and then get to the other details until you address that one part, because it makes addressing all the other details easier in the process. Because I used to try to jump over this part, jump over that part, and I don't know, this therapist doesn't work. They don't understand, so this one will. And it's like, maybe it's not your therapist, maybe it's you. I mean, they're holding the space and trying to help you. You're just you're cherry picking the parts that you think are going to do it, when you need to start from step one, which is the core.
Well, and that's also too, like just offering you and anyone else compassion around the process. We're doing our very best, and we're willing to receive what we're willing to hold for ourselves. We don't like, I could take somebody through step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they may not be able to do step 5. They may not be ready for that. Like, that's too much. So there may be a little moment where the nervous system doesn't have the capacity for that amount of information. We do our very best. And is it perfect? No. Is it messy? 100%. And we are able to receive what we have the capacity for, and no more. No more. That statement, God only gives you what you can handle. I really actually feel like that's us. Like, we only give ourselves what we can handle. And so it doesn't look linear. Healing is not linear. It's definitely
no, it's not linear.
Curvy.
It's not. No, it's not held to a timeline for sure. It's not. You can't.
Yeah. So just introducing a little gentleness there. Like, it's not perfect, and we can compare ourselves really easily to each other about, this person did it that way and this person's done it that way. It's our journey, and we are doing our best, and we're figuring it out.
My sound.
And
can y'all hear me?
I think people are starting to realize that, because they're seekers. People are seeking individually.
I think I lost my sound.
Did you? Are you okay, Brad?
I didn't want to hear my message. He's like, I can't hear it. I'm done.
I can't. Oh, he might be bouncing out. So, do you know anything about somatic, the breathing that is all over? Does that really work? I was supposed to go to one and I didn't, because I thought, if I'm just not ready to cry, if that's going to make me cry, what is that surface, that breathing? What is that? Do you know anything about that?
I do, actually. I trained last year in a very specific breath style. There are a lot of different breath works. Okay. So the holotropic, kind of the masculine breath, it's a yang breath where it's very controlled, or even yogic, like when you go into like certain types of yoga, it's controlled breath. Not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying there's a control factor involving that kind of breath.
Okay.
The breath work that I learned to do last year is a combination of a yin and a yang breath, where you take a deep inhale, which is very, then you take a very soft exhale, and then oh, he lost his sound.
Did you lose your sound, Brad? Okay. Say something, Brad.
Okay.
I don't know if he can hear us.
He's just sitting there.
Brad. Well, I can hear you, Morgan.
Yeah.
I lost my sound. Okay. Why don't you bounce out and come back in, Brad? Oh no, can you do that without logging us off? Or maybe we're to log off.
Can he hear? Oh, because he's the host.
Yeah, he's the host.
Ah.
So okay.
Well, what do you do?
Morgan. No, that is, I mean, it's a huge thing here in Boise.
Yeah.
The breathing. And
there's a lot of value to it. To finish up really quickly, there's a lot
Okay.
of value to it. It just depends on what's going to work for you. And it can be cathartic, but the style
Yeah, I
of
lost
breath,
my sound.
We hear you. No.
he
Okay.
doesn't hear us. Yeah. The style of breath that I learned is gentle, and you can cry, but it's not about catharsis. And I think the other breath works, the other breath styles are all about the catharsis. Like,
Yeah.
go back to the capacity. When we're in catharsis, we're going to get really tight. So the thing that we're crying about is technically going to.
I can't hear y'all, but y'all can hear me. So just go ahead.
Okay. That's too bad. So,
yeah,
I really feel that that's true, because I thought I would think that would put me back a little bit. And then I'd have to try to figure that out. And, you work so hard to gain ground, and I thought that would make me lose ground. I kind of felt.
Yeah.
I
I definitely go with your intuition. I always tell people, like, give it a try. If you don't like it, don't go back. Like, it's okay. Like, you get to trust yourself enough. Like, I don't think you'd lose ground per se, but if I will say though, like, just kind of tuning into that, like, if you are holding in emotion and you go into a breath work and it's cathartic, allow yourself to go all in, like, cry it out. There's nothing wrong with that. It's more about the story we put to, like, well, I don't want to cry because it's weak, or I don't want to be a blah, 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 all the stories that we make it mean. Go all in. If you're going to do it, go all in. Like, don't half-ass it, because then that actually will hurt, because you're holding it, you're fighting it. Like,
that's what I would do.
Yeah. Go all in and do it. And if you love it, oh, he did. Okay. Maybe he gets to come back in.
Yeah. So I agree on that. Actually, I want to read another page. And here's the dyslexic girl reading, so bear with me.
You're doing great. I love it.
Okay.
You're doing awesome.
So this is kind of towards the end of the book, where it's the weave section.
Yeah.
And you say, you've got this, you you do. I'm a firm believer that there are no mistakes. For whatever reason, you have picked up this book. And if it wasn't a conversation that was intended for you, it would have never intersected your path. Our guides are magnificently creative. They have brought you to this moment in time, given you information you need, marvel at the adventure that awaits. What will you do with it? Well, that is completely up to you. That is the power you hold within your experience. To do or not to do, that is a beautiful question.
I love that.
You have a really great way of writing.
Thank you.
I think that's
Sorry, I missed that gap of time there. My sound went out. So
yeah, now you're back. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think we've had some great conversation.
We
and
have.
I hope people really have benefited, because you gave me some aha moments. And
Same here. Same here. Yeah. Just in an hour and a half.
I know. We usually go 2 hours, but I think we should tie it up, because we're probably wearing you out. Does anybody that is on here in the chats have a question for Morgan? Speak now or forever hold no.
Ask all the questions you can
Ask it
possibly
now.
ask.
All
And
7 of
go.
them are
We'll
in the
have to
chat.
have you on again too, Morrighan. This was really good.
I've
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think a better way to wrap up 2025 than to be talking about healing and the journey to healing. Like you said, you gave us some epiphanies a bit. Anybody that's going to watch this or listen to this, tail end 2025 with that in your head and think, okay, I can make my 2026 better. And
Yeah.
I mean, what better way to do it than kind of putting the breadcrumbs, as you say, out there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then giving yourself permission that it gets to be breadcrumbs, because there's something so pure about that. And I the word again is dropping in, it's sustainable. If you aren't able to sustain the amount of information you're taking in, you will reject it from your nervous system. So there's no need to rush and hurry up and figure it all out. You get to take your time and nourish yourself and eat and digest and then rest and integrate and then eat and like it's okay. We're gonna make it. We're all on our way, no matter which way that is. Everyone's doing their thing. Everything's okay. Yeah.
I agree.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you again, Morrighan, for taking the time.
Appreciate it.
And your book.
Guys, love you so much. I appreciate
Love you too.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. And everybody else is thanking you on the chat. So
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
All righty. All right. Happy New Year, Morrighan.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
We'll talk soon.
Yay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.